Welcome to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. Go for good times, go for GoMart. Joining me now is head track and field coach Dan Meyers. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Jagger, thanks for having me.
Coach, it was a busy weekend for you guys. You started out on Friday at the Concord Open, sent some of your athletes there, and then on Saturday went to the Bucknell Outdoor Classic on Saturday and Sunday. Just what do you think about your team's performance there on Friday first?
Yeah, so, these are a lot of athletes that wanted to take themselves and get a mark, and, ultimate respect to them for, some needed an off weekend, so that was okay too. We had a good chunk of personal best. Abby Dixon joined kind of the sub 25K crew. She wanted to try to do a different distance to qualify for conference. Didn't go quite how she wanted, but at the end of the day, still sub 25K effort. Luke Barr ran 16:08, big personal best for him in the 5K. He was another one that wanted to just kind of see what he could do. We had some girls in the discus. We had some girls in the high jump. Overall, it was, the ones that went there, I think, got a lot out of it. It was what we needed for those that, didn't get to go to Bucknell with us.
And then there on Saturday and Sunday, you finished up at Bucknell. You had a school record with Natalie Barr and the 9 other personal best overall for the weekend. What did you think of the performance there on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. It was long weekend. We left midday Friday, got home close to midnight on Sunday. So long weekend, but Bucknell just does a great job at their meets. They do their research. It was they knew a lot about our runners and all of their races, and that was huge. And just kind of starting off, Nick Pitchford got us going on the track in the 800s. Ran 154, close to his personal best. But then came back on Sunday, kind of ran an odd event for outdoors, but he established a new program record in the full outdoor mile of 4:12 and converted to a 1,500 actually school record as well. Not sure if we're going to count that yet, but a little slight PR in the 1,500, so that was cool to see. Moved up the performance list a spot or two, so that was awesome. Katie Hicks, she started us off hot in the longer distances. Ran 17:55, huge personal best. Before the season started, she never broke in 20 minutes, so this continues an unbelievable year for her. She held our school record for about 4 hours, and I'll kind of jump into that here in a little bit, but Casey Mahoney coming off an injury, pretty serious injury on the foot, and every throw was incredible. He went from a season best to an outdoor PR to a lifetime PR, throwing 1560 in a loaded shot put field. So huge for Casey. Rory Taylor Young on Sunday continued his PR streak in the 400, 4862. Getting close to our school record every week of 48:30, and we think that he can achieve that by the end of the year. He was a huge January pickup for us. He's just running awesome right now. And our freshman captain, Carson Smith, didn't have the 400 that he wanted on the weekend, but set a lifetime best of 22:09 in the 200, and that moved him up to top 5 all time, so that was huge. And kind of the event of the weekend, I hate that it always comes back to this. Well, I love it at the same time, but Natalie just absolutely broke through a huge barrier that, honestly, when we kind of started this 5K, 10K, longer distance journey, this was a goal for the end of her career, and still have some time left of her junior season to run 16:57. The only West Virginian, to my knowledge, in the either WIVIAC or MEC to break 17, and she's only the 4th ever. And that was huge. And it was a phenomenal night for the MEC 5Kers. Girl from D&E ran low 17s. Girl from Point Park ran low 17s. A bunch of other sub-18 performances and low 18 performances from the league. I would consider it the greatest MEC 5K night in history, or day and night. But yeah, to run that invite section, to break 17, it's just a huge testament to her hard work, and that she's really helped put our program on the map, and sub-17s is just another testament to that.
And now you're going into your final week of the regular season. Kind of like last week, you have a late ad there on Friday with the Mountaineer Showcase, and then you'll go to West Virginia Wesleyan for your senior day as well. Just what do you want to see out of your team this coming weekend as you finish out the regular season?
Yeah, so we added WU just for some hammer and some jav marks. Just some people are trying to get a better mark heading into conference, getting some more reps. So we love that. We can kind of do this sometimes when the meets are close. And then, honestly, rolling into Saturday, Jasmine Claggett, obviously a meet that means a lot to me, and being a Wesleyan alum, and Jasmine being one of my coaches when I got to Wesleyan, and to honor her for about, I think this is year 9 or 10 of the meet. So and just ending the year, celebrating our seniors, and just seeing how many great marks we can get on the board, get some relay marks on the board, and just head into the conference weekend. I mean, it's been a short outdoor season. It seemed like it's flown by, but we have a lot to hang our hat on so far, and we're hoping for some more big performances down the road.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on today, and good luck this coming weekend.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me now is head acrobatics and tumbling coach Taylor Broadwater. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me again.
All right, Coach, a lot going on with you guys here in the past week. You started out on Saturday in the semifinals against third-seeded Frostburg State. You won 254 to 249. What do you think of your girls' performance there on Saturday?
Extremely proud of the girls. They executed every event exactly how I could have asked of them. They had high energy the entire meet and just had a lot of fun on Saturday. They really came out strong and knew that there was a job to get done and did everything in their power to get that done on Saturday.
You turned around on Sunday with the championship meet against Fairmont State. You lost 261 to 243, one of the lowest scores of the season since the Frostburg meet in March. Just what did you think about Sunday's meet?
There's nothing that I could have asked more from my girls on Sunday. Did it turn out how I expected or how I would have wanted? Absolutely not. But is that any fault of my athletes? No. I think that they did everything they could have done, executed very, very well. Scores were not in our favor. And we've talked about that before. There's a lot that goes into that. And as a coach, I can sit here and say that there is nothing that I could have asked more from them. And at the end of the day, scores were not in our favor, but I am very, very, very proud of this team and all 19 of them, because against all odds, 19 of my athletes should not have been on that meet and competing, and competed one with a broken arm, competed one with everything torn in her elbow, and competing one on a torn labrum. So at the end of the day, I think that this team showed up in a very big way this weekend.
And on the bright side, you had 5 event MEC champions. You qualified all 15, won 5 of them with the 5-element acro, 7-element acro, 450 salto, duo tumbling, and open tumbling. What do you think about your girls able to capture their 5 MEC championships?
I think that they were fired up and ready to go into event finals. And honestly, I think that even the events they didn't win, they still showed up in a very big way, competing to the best of their capability, and energy on Sunday morning for event finals was even better than Saturday night. So I think this team just wants it. They want it in a big way, and they continue to show it for each other. And I think that was a big part that played into those events that they won. And the events they didn't, you would not have been able to tell on their face.
And then before MECs happened this past weekend, it was a big Thursday for you guys. You almost swept the MEC awards. You had 3 of the 4. Starting out with Delaney Rosales, a senior, got MEC Specialist of the Year. What has she meant for you, not just this year, but for the whole 4 years she's been here?
She has been a solid athlete for this program, starting from the very first time that she stepped in here. She has continued to show up for this team and do what she needs to do in order to help us go to the next level and continue to excel and just kind of set the standard. And I think that she is a very deserving athlete of that accolade, and I'm very, very, very proud of her.
And then Savannah Duckworth, someone who's going to go down as one of the best athletes that GSU Acrobatics and Tumbling has ever had. She capped it off with the MEC Athlete of the Year. It was only the second athlete that's a non-Fairmont girl to win the award. What do you think about her winning the award?
I'm very, very happy for her. I think that has been a very deserving award. I think that she has been fighting for that for a couple years now, and I'm happy that she finally got the accolade that she's been waiting on. I do think that she is an athlete that, like you said, is going to go down in GSU acro history, because she is a phenomenal athlete and continues to show up for this program and is continuing to do skills to kind of break records and break program records here for us.
And then you, Coach, Taylor Broadwater was the MEC Coach of the Year. You had another good season. Really could have got it last year, and then now you finally get it this year. What was that like for you to finally win that award?
I mean, obviously it's a big honor, but at the end of the day, I absolutely would never have gotten that without this team and what they have done. That comes straight from them. They continue to show up for me, do what I ask, and at the end of the day, it's them on that floor, and I trust them with everything, and I'm just really proud of this team this year.
And of those, you had 4 get all MEC first team. Savannah Duckworth obviously getting a nod there. Amelia Underwood, Sydney West, and Kinley Stanley, all MEC first team. Stanley being a transfer first year here in the program. What was that like for you to see 4 of your girls get first team?
Very exciting. I am proud of all of them, and it did take all 19 of my athletes to help all of them get those honors, really all the honors that we got this year. It took the whole team behind them, backing them up, and helping them through that. But I do think that All of those were very deserving. I think we had some more athletes deserving as well. But as a coach, I think this team showed up in big ways this season. And obviously, like, I had a great freshman group come in this year that really helped this team excel. And then having Kinley come in, I think she stepped up in a big way. She's an incredible athlete, and I'm very grateful that she chose us.
And then now it's the end of the season coming up. You qualified the 450 salto toss and the open tumbling for the NCATA Nationals, which will be Sunday, April 26th, all the way out in Azusa, California. What was that like for you to see a few of your events qualify for Nationals once again?
I'm very proud of that. I think that's something, obviously, we work for all year. And yes, that's the end goal, but I can't say that's something that our main focus is. I always tell the girls to be where your feet are, and obviously each meet is where we need to be, full focus. So paying attention to all that stuff, details, cleaning things up throughout season. I can honestly say Savannah is an athlete that will pay attention to stuff like that just because she always does the averages and is kind of like, Coach, this is what we need to do. And I'm like, all right, Sav, like, let's get the job done, you know? So I think that the team really kind of just took everything under their wing this year and were like, these are the goals that we have. However, be where our feet are is more important. I think at the end of the day, they did that. And then they were kind of surprised when they saw how that fell this year. So I am very proud of those two events that are going. And obviously, Trinity's a freshman. So having a tumbling pass qualify as a freshman is very impressive, and I think she is very deserving of that.
Well, Coach, congrats on all the awards that you guys gotten this year, and we'll talk to you here in a few weeks.
Thank you so much.
Basketball season is rolling, baby. Tony here, and I'm feeling the groove.
Brad here checking in, and when the hoops are flying, it's full court fun at GoMart.
That's right, the Groovy Hoops promotion is on now. Take your shot to earn bonus reward points and tokens when you purchase one of 6 specially marked items.
Collect all 6 tokens for an additional 2,000 points. Sign up for GoMart Rewards and watch your points soar like a slam dunk in platform shoes.
Go to GoMart.com or check the app for all the details. Stay groovy.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me now is head softball coach Sara Scoone. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, you only gave up 4 runs this past weekend. You got 2 doubleheader sweeps at West Liberty and Wheeling. Started on Saturday, it was a 10-2 5-inning win in Game 1, and then a 2-1 kind of nail-biter there at the end in Game 2. What did you think of Saturday's performances?
I thought Saturday was great. I thought the girls' bats really came out hot. It was so wonderful to see as a coach because we spent literally all week preparing for the 2 pitchers that we were going to see at West Lib, kind of going after their MO, knowing what they would throw us. And then it was just so wonderful to see that light up for the girls. It's like, wow, we got to see, what's that saying where it says, confidence comes when you see your preparation succeed. So, you know, that's where kind of that took off. And it was wonderful. I loved how at West Lib we had our underlying hero there with Joe coming in hot there at the end of that first game. Had a couple timely hits. Emma McLean, Kylie Goodman, what a weekend for her.
Yeah.
Yes, what a weekend for our Goodman. But yeah, so little things like that at West Lib, that was really great.
And then you turn around on Sunday, kind of the same MO with the first game being an 8-0 5-inning game. Second one a little bit closer, but we still pulled away there with 4-1 win. What'd you like about Sunday?
So Sunday, that was the chance where we kind of had an opportunity as hitters to make an in-game adjustment as a team. We planned for them to do ABC on the mound, and they did XYZ. So we were able to, in the first game there in the second inning, or I want to say second time through, let's say third inning-ish, we were able to kind of make an adjustment, get on base, have some timely hits. Then it really started rolling. You know, once one person did it, it was like, oh, we all can do it. It was wonderful to see how Kylie Burdick pitched. For those that didn't get to watch the game, down to the last out in the 5th inning. She was throwing a no-hitter, and it was like the curse. You know, someone must have said it. Someone said it somewhere. So she actually threw a one-hit game there. That was wonderful. Defense really had her back. We positioned our outfield really well this weekend, I thought. So I'm really proud about that. And then going into the second game at Wheeling, Macy came in. Macy threw a great ball game there. The girls really battled again with the timely hits in that second game, so that was really nice to see. But all in all, it was really nice this past weekend. The best part is that I feel like we had these little heroes throughout the entire weekend where, like, against West Lib, Kylie Goodman literally was the reason for those 2 runs in that second game. Delaney Warnick in the first game. Then you go into Wheeling and you have Emma McLean, she really stepped up this weekend. Emily Nolan stepped up this weekend. Alexis Harward with the bomb, and she was flirting with the fence the first day. So it was just really, really, really wonderful to see people who really haven't had the spotlight on them this year, even though they're like our unsung hero and they keep doing all these things to benefit the team's wins. They finally got their little spot of shine there. So it was really, really nice.
And Macy Bogus, through 14 innings, only gave up 1 earned run, struck out 9 over that weekend. And you're going to need some good pitching this weekend. You got Fairmont State, Frostburg State coming up. The 2 top teams there in the north, Fairmont 25-7, Frostburg State 27-4. It's a big weekend, kind of the point of the season where it feels like every pitch is important. So what do you want to see out of your girls?
Yeah, this weekend, they're really going to have to step up as a team and kind of use our preparation to really, buy into, throw them forward. Trust in that process too, not get into this sense of, if this is what we plan for and we don't see that, we can't just panic. And a lot of young hitters, they do that. It's not what they expected. They get in the box, they see something different, and then they press that panic mode, right? I would like to see our age kind of flourish. We have a lot of experience on our team. Everyone right now on the field has started since they've been here.
Yep.
And that's very unheard of, truly. So to see that kind of just keep growing, flourishing, that's kind of what I would like to see take off this weekend, being that it's fighting experience. We always go back and forth with Fairmont. We go back and forth with Frostburg, and they're usually always great ball games, which just makes it so exciting. I think 2 years ago, we walked it off with 2 outs, bottom of the 7th with a squeeze.
Yep.
Like, what? I love stuff like that. Like I can think about that and go back to that moment and how that felt. And, it's that stuff where when you do the routine, you get a chance usually late in the ball game to really show up and see who shows out. So that's kind of what I'm excited for here this weekend.
And this weekend starts a 10-game homestand for the Pioneers, 1 and 3 o'clock on both days. Coach, appreciate you coming on today, and good luck this week.
Thank you.